they train the minds to conquer all. Workshops, FDPs, and learning grad, empowering scholars across the land. Innovation flows in all they do, breaking barriers, forging new. A legacy of growth and cheer. Academy Innova world leads the frontier. Innovation flows in all they do, breaking barriers, forging new. A legacy of growth and cheer. Academy Innova world leads the frontier. Leads the frontier. Leads the frontier. Leads the frontier. In halls of knowledge, bold and bright, stands Innova world, a guiding light. With wisdom vast and skills untold, they shape the future, brave and bold. From AI's rise to
evening, sir.
research call.
Good evening, I am audible to you.
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Workshops,
But you're not
FDPs,
visible.
and learning grad.
Yeah, I'm connecting in
Scholars
that
across
way.
the land. Innovation flows in all they do, breaking barriers, forging new. A legacy of growth and cheer. Academy Innova world leads the frontier. Innovation flows in all they do, breaking barriers, forging new. A legacy of growth and cheer. Academy Innova world leads the frontier. Leads the frontier. Leads the frontier. Leads the frontier. In halls of knowledge, bold and bright, stands Innova world, a guiding light. With wisdom vast and skills untold, they shape the future, brave and
Okay,
bold.
How about my audio? I am connected to two devices.
From
One is for
AI's
audio.
rise to research
Yes, sir,
call,
yes, sir.
they train the minds to conquer all. Workshops, FDPs, and learning
Sir, here
grad,
we have our
empowering
team with us,
scholars
sir.
across the land.
The
Innovation
host
flows in all
and
they
our
do,
team.
breaking
So,
barriers,
watching
forging
us
new.
live,
A
around
legacy of growth and cheer.
121
Academy Innova world leads the frontier.
applied for this event.
Innovation flows in all
And
they
out
do,
of that,
breaking
around
barriers, forging new.
50%
Legacy of growth and cheer. Academy Innova world
Okay,
leads the
students from
frontier.
different
background. Yes,
backgrounds.
we are from versatile background like engineering, science, management, commerce. We are from different backgrounds. Yeah. So I think, sir, I think it's a good time to start.
Yeah.
So I hope I'm audible to everyone. Yeah. So as we are celebrating this EdTech acceleration program, and we are celebrating Educational Technology Day. So the greatest equalizer in the world is education, and technology is the greatest amplifier of the education. So good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to day two to all the participants joining with this 3-day boot camp on this EduTech acceleration program organized by Academy Innova World. It's a hub for research driven innovation, technical excellence, and also registering intellectual property rights creation, which is founded in the year 2017, started with an YouTube channel, especially for the aerospace enthusiast. Now it's holding an MSME registered for more than 5 years, a STEM based research center recognized across India. And we are very proud that we are coming World Space Week, we are going to achieve world record. Unlike any other academics or academy, our academy operates a dedicated R&D cell through a virtual and hybrid mode, collaborating with all the researchers, scientists, and industry mentors, a rare offering in the educational sector. Recently, Academy in our World has been declared as India's first private research and innovation hub, which was featured by Republic News and also in the Gujarat Journal. On this educational day, we are celebrate not just a device or a software, but a powerful bridge that building between the curiosity and knowledge. Maybe we continue to harness this innovation to create equality, engaging, and limitless learning opportunity environment for every minds. So before that, before we start, let me welcome our dignitaries, our guest of today, Dr. R Krishnamurthy. He is a director and the Center of Research in Paavai Educational Institution. So I welcome you, sir, on this to grace this occasion. Now I request Priyanka to say a few words and introduce our guest. Please, Priyanka.
Yes, ma'am. We are delighted to have with us today a dynamic mentor, Dr. R. Krishnamurthy. Is a distinguished geologist and pioneer in satellite remote sensing with over 34 years of experience, specializing in coastal and disaster management. His academic journey, marked by university rank, culminated in a PhD from Anna University, which was the first thesis on satellite remote sensing at the institution. His career is a unique blend of high-impact research and significant administrative leadership, evidenced by a substantial scholarly output of over 2,200 citations and an H index of 23. He has been instrumental in national projects like India's Tsunami Early Warning System and the MARSIS program. Honored with the Environmental Award from the Government of Tamil Nadu, his key contributions include the Climatic Disaster Resilience Index (CDRI) and the Tsunami Vulnerability Atlas. A dedicated mentor, he has supervised 22 PhD scholars, having held prestigious roles such as visiting scientist at IIASA, Vienna, and visiting professor at Kyoto University. He currently serves as a director of the Center for Research at Paavai Educational Institutes, continuing his commitment to advancing geophysical science and resilience. Today, we are really glad to have you with us, sir. Without further delay, let's learn and hear from today's guest, building resilience through education, integrating disaster management into learning pathways. The virtual stage is yours, sir. We are eager to learn from your insights. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the very nice introduction, and I'm really delighted to connect with the team in Academy Innova World. I think this is my first introduction to the team, and yeah, different target groups I'm going to address today. This is really a very wonderful opportunity for me to connect with the very young students and the very vibrant audience for this online session. That actually, maybe you might have heard from the introduction, right? And my background is a little bit diverse. I started my career in the field of geology, but specialized in satellite remote sensing. But I done research in the domain of disaster management. And I served in Anna University and the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, and later on in University of Madras. And currently, I'm holding the post-retirement position as the Director, Center for Research in the Paavai Educational Institutions. This is a cluster of institutions having engineering courses and then paramedical courses, polytechnic, arts and science, like that. So even my post-retirement also, I am associating with the young minds, young students, and I'm seeing everywhere the student potential, especially their innovative ideas, how that is very much essential for the present day world. So coming to my presentation topic, what I'm going to engage the audience during the next maybe 40 minutes. This is purely of my sharing of my experience. So when we started doing research in disaster management, this is really an mere coincidence. Actually, the situation, you know that in India 2001, the Bhuj earthquake happened, and then we started thinking about disaster management very seriously. And 2004 is the changes, a lot of changes happened after the Indian Ocean tsunami. Everyone knows that we started giving much importance to this domain disaster management. So our first journey started with how to make an very quick assessment of the tsunami damages along the Tamil Nadu coast, and then we carried out research that was funded by the Department of Science and Technology. And so we taken off the Chennai coast and also the Andaman Nicobar Islands. So two fast track projects were done, and later on we involved in the India's national program on tsunami warning system development. So this is our research and development part. But what happened? Sometimes in 2008, we received a funding support from European Union through the UNISDR, and the Kyoto University was the coordinating center, and we carried out a lot of training and capacity building activities in disaster management. So in the disaster management domain, research and development is one side, and training and capacity building is another side. So both are equally important. And when coming to the training and capacity building for different target groups, the UNISDR they recommended to address the target group starting from school students, school teachers up to the people in the decision making level. And accordingly, we prepared different training module for the different target groups. Two training modules exclusively. One is on school disaster education, another one is climate change adaptation. That is for the people in the decision making level, even including the field practitioner. How the climate change is very important, how the community should get adapted to this climate change. So that is one aspect. And in addition to that, we have done another two training module exclusively for Maldives and community-based information system pertaining to the coastal areas and the integrated coastal zone management. These two concepts we want to deliver to the Maldives. So from that time, during 2008 onwards, and when we are taking this curriculum into the school level, so we conducted a 2 days workshop for the school teachers, how the school teachers are effectively delivering the content to the student. See, the disaster management is a totally a multidisciplinary subject. This content cannot be delivered very easily in the school classroom. And after conducting the 2 days workshop for the school teachers, we found that the content is available in the textbook, right? The student can access the content, disaster management content in the textbook, but how to clearly understand the concept behind. When we are talking about earthquake, the student need to understand about the plate tectonics. Plate tectonics is purely of the subject deals with geophysics and the subsurface geology, right? So structural geology, all these components involved. And the teachers, school teachers with a diversified background, they are delivering the content in the schools. So that was the very challenging situation. We have received that kind of feedback from the school teachers that they suggested for very user friendly, the target group oriented content for easy dissemination of information, knowledge sharing to the school students. So from that feedback, we taken up a very small assignment, preparation of a small video content for the school students that we started experimented from 2008 onwards. That is our first journey in the education sector, how the disaster management content is being delivered in the school curriculum. Then parallelly, we have worked on how to introduce the disaster management curriculum in the higher education scenario. So we introduced some sort of elective courses for the postgraduate level students in the university level. Likewise, there are different stages we come across. So in this section, what I'm going to do, share with you with the audience is my our learning experience, how the classroom knowledge connected to the field, how the vulnerable communities benefited from this kind of formal education in the school, in as well as in the college, as well as in the university system. So this is the objective of my presentation. Maybe I will start with my first slide, and shall I share the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How that the importance of building resilience through education, right? What are the efforts we have taken to introduce the subject in the school curriculum as well as in the college curriculum, and how that was helpful to the vulnerable communities. That is the objective of my presentation. I'm showing this slide. This was our first exercise we carried out after the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, when the school curriculum included the subject in this under the social science, when the teachers were started delivering the content to the student. So, as I mentioned earlier, based on the feedback from the school teachers, we developed a small video for a duration of about 24 minutes to highlight about the overview of the entire Indian coastline. So how the different state has different coastal hotspot, how the coastal area is vulnerable with reference to natural calamities. So that was the initial attempt that helped the school teachers very effectively to disseminate the content in the classroom that reached the students very well. So this was our first exercise dealing with the disaster management education. Coming to the year 2011, I was given the assignment to establish a University of Madras first constituent college in a coastal village. That village name is called Nemeli, and that village is located nearly about 40 kilometers towards south from the Chennai city. So when you are traveling towards the south, many of you may be knowing that UNESCO heritage site is available. That is called Mahabalipuram. And when you are traveling from Chennai to Mahabalipuram, this is the on the way towards Mahabalipuram, where you can find this very beautiful coastal village, and the landform is mainly of sand dune complex with kind of vegetation, coastal vegetation. That is a unique speciality of this particular area. And in that area, when the university started establishing the first constituent college, I was deputed by the university to establish this college as a founding principal. So what happened? We started four undergraduate courses in the college in this particular village, and then we have encountered so many issues. One interesting thing is we couldn't find a suitable building to start with the college because we want to start immediately. So for a temporary arrangement, the local government given the building that was donated by the Indian Red Cross, that was used by the people as a cyclone shelter. So the unused cyclone shelter building we converted into a college. So I am being a disaster management expert and done a lot of research and development work, and as well as the training and capacity building in disaster management. I use that opportunity, especially when I am working in this particular village, for establishing the constituent college. And I was very particular in introducing the basics of disaster management in the college curriculum. that courses are mostly undergraduate courses, 4 courses, undergraduate courses, including literature and commerce and computer application. We introduced this the basics of disaster management in the undergraduate curriculum itself. So that was the very interesting experience. I tried to explore whatever the possibilities available and how to make the community resilient with reference to disaster. Especially that particular village is very much prone to disaster, like the entire village was affected by the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. And invariably, whenever there is a cyclone crossing over the area, the village will be affected invariably by cyclone and then related flooding. And 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami that is almost wiped out the most part of that village in around that area. So when I introduced this disaster management in the college curriculum, at the same time, I want to connect this classroom education, classroom knowledge to the field. How to take into the field? We came out with a very wonderful initiative and our collaboration with there is an international NGO called Seeds India in New Delhi, and we have already having a bilateral program with Quetta University for our disaster management related R&D project and the training and capacity building activity. So we made use of those collaboration for our for connecting this classroom knowledge to the field. So we received a lot of technical support from Seeds India as well as the Quetta University in Japan. So what type of methodology we adopted during that time is establishing a local citizens alliance for disaster risk reduction. That is the title. That objective of this work is connecting the involving the local community and along with the student knowledge in the classroom, take the student to the field and educate the local community in disaster management and create awareness and make the community resilient to disaster. That was the original objective under this initiative. This is just a concept we developed based on the real requirement in the field. So, what we used to do, the student used to learn the subject in the classroom. But at the same time, every month in a particular day, particular time, we used to devote that particular time, especially having a meeting with the village leaders. Actually, in this villages, that entire area surrounded by cluster of villages, the fishermen hamlets. So we connected with the community, each hamlet, we connected with the community through the village leader and invite them to the college to have the discussion how this student classroom knowledge can taken into the field. Each village is having their own issues related to disaster and the time of cyclone. They have to evacuate to the safest places. The people should move to the safest places. And then during the time of tsunami and everything, this entire area is prone to tsunami and cyclone. Definitely the people should have proper evacuation method, and then the awareness level of the community should be in a higher level so that the people can be evacuated in a very proper manner. So that was the challenges faced by the invariably all the hamlets in that particular location. So what in what way we engage the local community is whatever the output derived from by the college students, that we demonstrated to the community leaders, village leaders. Try to understand the outcome of the classroom education in the form of hazard map developed by the student for each village, and that we demonstrated to the people, and then they understand the real problem exists in their village. They already know that, but only issue is how to mobilize the community, how to mobilize, evacuate the community to the safest place. That is a very biggest challenge for them. And so we started this informal way of having the residence alliance, and the students has to visit the villages and they interact with the local community. They collect some household level survey information from that each and every village, and that information they convert in the form of maps. Finally, each village, the students have come out with this kind of hazard map. So, the hazard map exercise is a part of their curriculum, but the student they used case for their case study, they used the near neighboring villages, and the real benefit is the outcome is explained to the local community, made them understand the importance of this hazard map, why that hazard map is prepared for each village, what is the benefit. So when the time of any calamity, the people should follow the instruction given in the hazard map, the safest route identified by the student, and then we have to conduct some kind of mock drills and evacuate the community to the safest place. That was the exercise done by the student in collaboration with the local community. As I mentioned, this is just an informal type of activity we started in this village. And we also used that the technical support from the Quetta University, and then the visiting scholars from students from Quetta University, they helped our students to properly understand the objective of the preparation of the hazard map for the village, and what are the information should be incorporated in that hazard map, how the hazard map should look like, make them understandable to the easily understandable to the local community. So that is the exercise guidance given by the Quetta University. And another interesting thing is, I visited Japan for more than 10 times under our bilateral program for delivering presentation in various academic events. One interesting observation I made during one of my visits to Japan, and especially my visit to a coastal village, where I found that in the entry of the village, there is a map is displayed in the front. Whoever entering into the village, definitely they can notice that map. That map, nothing but the safety evacuation map, especially for the tsunami. That particular village is very much prone to tsunami. The local community has displayed this map in front of the village. Maybe the local authority might have displayed that. But I observed that important observation. That was the original interest. I want to develop this kind of idea, help the community in this particular village in Meli. And that is the main reason behind when we are going towards the preparation of the hazard map involving the student support. So the student came out with a very wonderful map for each and every fisherman hamlet in that area, and that hazard map highlights about all the infrastructure for the location, each and every location of the houses in that particular village, and the legend clearly shows that which are all the houses having elderly people and children, and then what is the infrastructure available in that village, the road network and everything, where the community has to take a evacuation route, safest route to reach the shelter. So that is the information provided in each hazard map of the village. So this is the wonderful output derived by the student for each hamlet. And then what should be who will be the contact point for each village? What is their contact details? These are all displayed in the, highlighted in the hazard map. So you can see that this different map for the villages, and at the same time, we train the local community along with the similar community from the entire coastal India. The Seeds India, they organized an event in Delhi. They invited similar participants, like our local residents alliance participants from the Nemeli village. Likewise, they invited similar participants across the coast, across the country, from different coastal states, and they conducted an event in Delhi. They shared the knowledge. A fisherman from Nemeli village participated in this event in Delhi, but at the same time, the fishermen from different coastal states, they shared their version of information with them. So the exchange of information among the community then happened. We created that much awareness to the local community. That is a very, very interesting exercise we have done. And you can see that the Seas India helped to display the student prepared hazard map in front of every hamlet, fisherman hamlet in that area. So this gives complete information. So what is this exercise? The real benefit of the exercise, we are very often talking about the community-based disaster management. Community-based disaster management, definitely one can realize that the importance of the community participation, the indigenous knowledge of the community, how all these things should be incorporated in the system so that we can effectively build the resilience of the vulnerable community. That is the objective. So if you really want to build the resilience of the community, definitely we have to do this level of exercise involving the local community. The real outcome should reach the community. The community themselves can use this kind of outcome. At the same time, we also submitted a bilateral program by involving various institutions in India, the IIT Madras, and then in Australian side, the Victoria University and Melbourne University. Under the India-Australia bilateral program, we submitted a small proposal, and the proposal entitled Spatially Enabled Nations, Improving Disaster Management Practices. And from the Indian side, it was funded by the Department of Science and Technology. From the Australian side, that was funded by Australia India Strategic Research Fund, ASRF. So when we are conducting this kind of research program, and when the Australian participant visited Chennai, when we are given the presentation to the participants, especially how the community-based disaster management model we have developed in this small village, and how that model is very effective. The Australian scientists, especially the faculty from the University of Melbourne, and after attending the technical section in IIT Madras, they visited the Nemali village. They witnessed that the real outcome of our exercise in the field. So this is the scenery of this photo shows that the Australian delegates, they are interacting with the local community, as well as they interacted with the students. The student, those prepared the hazard map, they had done the exercise. And you see that that is the reason behind this particular village become a modern village for the government of Tamil Nadu at that time, and where the community-based disaster management is really practically demonstrated. And how we demonstrated through the formal college education, we introduced this subject, disaster management, in the curriculum, and parallelly we have done a lot of the another what is it kind of activities engaging the student through the NSS camps, and through our international collaboration we got like technical support from the universities like Kyoto University in Japan, and then the collaboration with the University of Melbourne. These are all helped to get a lot of technical support, and involving the local community through the local residents alliance, and this merging all these components together, we developed the site-specific community-based disaster management. And we also demonstrated that this is being really implementable, how the impact of this implementation happen in that particular village. And that is the major things to enhance the resilience of this kind of vulnerable community in that particular village. And that case study also covered by a lot of news agency like the IPS and other agency. They given title, different title, they published our work. How the cyclone shelter we converted as a college, and how that college education helpful to enhance the local community. They given the title as cyclone colleges, how that raises hopes and dreams of Indian and vulnerable fisher both. and as well as that our studies on the tsunami inundation mapping and how these technological tools like satellite remote sensing and the spatial information technology, how these are all helpful to map these vulnerable areas. These are all the things, and we have done a lot of documentation in the form of reference books and textbooks and different title. And this particular book titled "Building Resilient Urban Communities," this is the outcome content is purely based on our climate disaster resilience studies we carried out in Chennai city and under our collaboration with the Kyoto University in Japan. And likewise, we have brought out a lot of report, not only books, we also brought out reports and research publications. And after the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, the city also experienced a lot of cyclone and flood. How that the recovery process is happening in Chennai, and that also we studied this documentation, all everything available in the open domain. One can access this. And definitely this contribution is made possible because of a lot of our collaborators helped in different manner, and I'm acknowledging them formally. So what I want to convey from this particular presentation is, once we go for this kind of multidisciplinary studies, especially if you want move towards the building the resilience of the community with reference to natural calamities, disaster, right? And we need to do this kind of link this classroom. One minute. Classroom knowledge to the field. This is the exercise. This is the one small experience I want to share with the audience. Maybe the remaining time I will spend with the audience if they have any questions and queries.
Yes, sir. So
Yes.
first of all, I would like to thank the thing that you have shown here in quite a half an hour or so. It's really, I think when I was pursuing my degree, we had in a common subject like something relevant to this disaster
Mm,
management, and
mm,
which is has been given as a mandatory
mm,
course by
mm,
NEP.
mm.
But today you made me realize that the importance of this particular subject, that
Okay.
the way you have taken further, like, so that is you are making the activity based study.
Yes.
Because if I remember such kind of topic, we basically or generally what we do, we just, okay, let's study, and for exam point we'll just put it down and just finish it off. But the
Yes.
way you have shown that you are bringing the youngsters, that young minds to think, it's kind of
Okay.
critical and thinking process, and making them to bring a layout and bring a decision from textbook to the real time practice. So that is, I'm really really appreciating for that, the way you have
Thank you.
created that. And
Thank you.
I just gone through the research that you have done, and you have done ample of work on, especially on the Chennai city. It's
Mm,
really excellent. You have studied a different marshland and
mm,
fishery and all, and you have also shown some of the case study. So in
yes.
that, one question is
Mm,
popping
mm,
up in my mind.
mm,
So basically, you have focused on tsunami. Yes, because if we consider the Chennai, it is a
mm,
coastal region.
mm,
Post
mm.
2004, it has a affect drastically.
Yeah.
What if there is an earthquake? Because Japan, if you take an example of Japan, right?
Mm,
Japan
mm,
is an earthquake-prone region.
mm,
So earthquake as well as tsunami. So,
mm,
if what if in India it is, we
mm,
can both trigger in the northern part of the India, it prone to earthquake, and when it comes to coastal region part, it's more prone to the tsunami. So,
okay.
taking the globally in the Indian perspective, so how can we improve this thing? My question is,
Okay. The thing is, tsunami has happened in 2004.
yeah,
The main reason is the submarine earthquake happened in the western part of Sumatra. okay, where we have the blade boundary. So the sea surface is broken about roughly about 1000 kilometers and lifted about 30 meters of the water column.
Yes.
So that is the root cause for the formation of tsunamis. And luckily, we don't have any such fault line blade boundary in the Bay of Bengal.
Yeah.
If at all there is a submarine earthquake is going to happen, that is only the danger zone is only in the western part of Sumatra, right? We have what is the learning experience from 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami is we have 2 hours of time. The tsunami wave travels from Sumatra to Andaman Nicobar. It will take about 15 minutes. From Andaman Nicobar to Chennai coast, it will take about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So there is a very ample time available. That much time is not available for the people like in Japan, right? We can do lot of things in this 2 hours time gap.
Okay.
Right. So that is one learning experience. Another thing is we developed the tsunami warning system that is being implemented right now. In the event of any tsunami, definitely you will be getting the tsunami warning
Yes.
message, then you will be alert. So the lot of learning exercise and then the outcome of that each and every disaster, what we learn, what are the technology application we implement, what type of the warning system we develop, we fully equipped to take care of the people. But the only thing is how to understand the warning message, how to go to the safest place. That is the exercise. As I mentioned, in a small coastal village in Japan, that population is roughly about 700. When I visited that village, the people shown that they developed, the community themselves developed 20 evacuation route to reach the safest place, right? And they have the community hall in the event of any typhoon and other things. They can entire village 700 can stay in one particular community hall for a period of few days. They will be safe. So likewise, this particular village, what we have done is the similar type of exercise we have done, we demonstrated. So what the community know that where they have to take, which route they have to take, and where is the shelter. Tsunami shelter is available nearby. How to reach that area, but only thing is how to conduct that exercise periodically. Japan, the one interesting thing is the people are periodically conducting the mock drill and then they are fully prepared. But what our thinking is, okay, 2004 tsunami happened. It may have take another 100 years or 50 years, something like that. But that is not the scenario. Changes in the global scenario, and then we cannot expect that when the next tsunami will happen. If at all will happen, from the exercise we fully prepared. We need not worry about that the future tsunami at all. That is the stage where we are now.
Yeah. So I think so not only tsunami, like cyclones, I think that came every like close to Orissa,
Mm.
West Bengal, and also in Andhra Pradesh, right?
Yes,
Every
yes,
year. So I think it can be adaptable. Such kind of concept can be adaptable for those coastal region also.
yes.
Similarly, Mumbai also has been affected.
Yes, yes, exactly. What I'm telling is from the 2004 learning,
Mm.
Tamil Nadu coast is most vulnerable.
Yeah.
And you see that when coming towards the West Bengal, the inundation, tsunami inundation is getting reduced. That is the thing
Yeah.
we are visibly
Yes.
seeing.
Yes. Yes.
And another thing is when come to Tamil Nadu, the Sri Lanka is protecting and saving 100 kilometers back of the Tamil Nadu coast. It is projecting front. So that becomes the zero zone. Likewise, there are so many exercises. We learn so many things from the field. Actually, tsunami is a new terminology. It's a geological terminology, but people came to know only in 2004,
Yes.
right? And likewise, we have challenges in the other side, especially for the earthquake warning. Earthquake warning, we cannot give accurate warning for earthquake. Still, there is lot of things needs to be explored in the earthquake warning system. People are some countries they are depending on the animal behavior and the people concentrating on the emission of the radioactive gases. How to identify and quantify, how to give the warning. That is the biggest challenge as far as the earthquake is concerned. But as you mentioned, cyclone, definitely we have a very wonderful warning system right now. We
Yeah.
have a varieties of meteorological satellite in the orbit,
Yes.
so that definitely messages can be given, but only thing is how to sensitize the community to understand the message, how to safeguard themselves. That is the exercise we need to do. In the community-based disaster management, the main objective is take the knowledge to the community.
Yeah.
Then only we can build the resilience.
Yes.
So in this, where we have done the demonstration is that community is resilient to disaster. We can say that because the community aware of that. But only thing is we have to continue that exercise and periodically conduct the mock drill and all these things. This should be carried out.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. And there was one question
Hmm.
that, sir, how did you map this concept and that behavior study and community decision making?
Behavior study of the community. Yeah?
Yes.
That maybe you can go conduct a household survey. We can conduct a household survey, collect the information, and then try to understand.
Mm,
And why I'm telling is the similar exercise we have done for the Chennai city. When the Chennai city was affected by periodically by cyclone, almost every alternate years, and we had done the students. They conducted the household survey and received the perception of the community how to bounce back to the flood situation in the city, right? What are the essential parameters with reference to coming back to normal,
mm,
and whether the solid waste management is the important challenge, providing drinking water and the electricity connectivity. So likewise, we need to conduct the household survey. From the survey, one can understand, come to the conclusion that what are the essential requirement for the community to bounce back to the normal condition.
mm. So one more interesting
Mm,
question came up.
Yes, yes.
How can we like resist? Is there any way to resist disaster to happen?
Definitely we can't resist. We can't go against the nature. We don't have that much capacity. Even the what is it, tsunami wall cannot withstand beyond certain extent. Definitely we can't resist.
Right, right, right. I think I have some few things. Maybe we can reduce. Maybe it can be reduced at certain extent.
Yes, yes, that
Uh,
is possible.
that is
That is possible.
possible because I think it's my belief that all these disasters is happening because of cutting trees. Then we are. By cutting trees, we are at certain point we are creating an imbalance in the nature,
Yes.
because nature is means balance, and by cutting tree we think that we are developing, but on the same equivalence we are not growing the trees.
Okay.
So I think if you think that yes, plant as much as you can, like plantation is one of the very very important thing.
Excellent. The same thing you rightly pointed out. This is the thing the community themselves realized, especially on the Tamil Nadu coast. We have taken lot of, many institutions taken lot of efforts, especially the Tamil Nadu Forest Department and the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. They done lot of mangrove plantation in the vulnerable areas, in the important areas. The people, without knowing the importance of the mangrove, wherever the mangroves was affected, the felling of mangroves happened. Those coastal sites were severely affected during the 2004 tsunami. The people, community themselves, they realized, and now they are giving very much importance. You see that the Tamil Nadu coast, majority of the degradation site, especially the mangrove site, through natural regeneration and all these methods, artificial sapling, they prepared, they planted, and now that most of the areas, degradation sites are restored, the people living adjacent to this kind of natural barriers like mangroves and sand dunes, they were safe. So definitely the people living on the open coast, they themselves experience the consequences. Definitely this message reached to the local community level.
Okay. Okay. There was another message relevant to tsunami. I think he is from civil background, and they say that my research is on how to reduce that disaster, and especially tsunami near the coastal region. So he's used some technical words like creating some construction in a typical
Hmm.
way, so we can reduce that speed of it and all.
Okay.
I don't
Okay,
know.
maybe
It's an
maybe I can get the essence of his question, but
yeah,
maybe I can give a answer that I'll let us see that whether my answer is really relevant to his question. The thing is, he is talking about the coastline is vulnerable to tsunami. Yes, I understand. And
yeah,
what kind of building structure can withstand? You see, one interesting observation we have made. When the tsunami happened and we went for fast track survey, immediately after the tsunami, we went to Andaman Nicobar Islands. We couldn't go to Nicobar, but we went to Andaman. When we are doing field survey in Andaman, and we started traveling from South Andaman to North Andaman. And when we are traveling that, making an assessment, one interesting observation we have seen only one particular place called Mayabandar island.
okay,
And when we are visiting that island, the local fishermen community, they told us that, sir, in our village, one fisherman constructed a three-story building very close to the beach. And the tsunami waves came very close to the building, but not hit the building. This wave came very close to the building, and when the wave started receding, the three-story building, it is going inside the ground. It is almost buried. Then, seeing that this is a one geological phenomena we used to study, this is called the soil liquefaction. Soil liquefaction means whatever the hard material and the soft object material, it will bury when the time of shaking. So that really happened. Then we went and asked the fishermen, we went and we saw the house. It is just like a toy, three-floor building, two floors buried inside the sand, and the third floor, top floor, become the ground floor. We went inside the floor also, and we have seen, witnessed that.